Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome. Today, we're unpacking a truly incredible transformation. We're going to trace the journey of Graham Farrer, a horticultural consultant and permaculture designer, and we'll see exactly how he moved from a state of total burnout to an absolute pinnacle of peak efficiency. Graham shared this realization about his journey, and it's just so powerful. He says, abundance isn't just what you have, it's where you put it, right? It's such a profound shift in mindset. We constantly think we need more resources, more tools, or literally just more hours in the day, when the truth is we usually just need better placement for the things we already have. Because let's look at his life back in 2012. Green was living this exhausting reality, completely a victim of bad placement. His essential tools stored in the absolute wrong shed. His PC was shoved into this dark, depressing corner of a room he absolutely hated being in. Even his different income streams were scattered across totally different worlds that just never connected. He was literally spending half his life just traveling between the tasks he needed to do. He wasn't exhausted from the work itself, he was exhausted by the friction of his own design. Here is our agenda for today. We'll be covering 1. The friction of 2012, 2. The power of relative location, 3. Harvesting the sectors, 4. Zone 0, digital flow, and 5. The 3-2-1 action plan. Section 1. The friction of 2012. Let's really ground ourselves in the stark contrast between living with daily friction and engineering a life entirely for flow. To visualize this, think of 2012 Graham as this frantic, scattered red line, zigzagging wildly and inefficiently all over a map of his home and garden. I mean, that is the literal definition of friction. Now contrast that with 2026 Graham. He's a smooth, tight, highly efficient green loop. He actively shifted his entire design for flow, not friction. Section 2. The power of relative location. To get from that frantic red zigzag to the smooth green loop, we have to understand a core permaculture principle drawn straight from Wolf Richards' 2026 book, The Power of Permaculture Principles. Relative location simply means placing elements so they mutually support one another in a system. And the crucial takeaway here? Graham doesn't wake up and go to work in the traditional sense anymore. He moves seamlessly through an optimized system where one element naturally feeds right into the very next. Let's walk through some real-world examples of this. When Graham is capturing drone aerial imagery, his drone pad is located exactly where he can instantly transition into his horticultural consulting site analysis. The commute between those two skills? It's entirely eliminated. Same thing with his PC repair station. It's integrated directly into his web design office. One task flows effortlessly into the next without wasting a single step. Section 3. Harvesting the sectors. Now, let's transition from managing our physical tools to managing the invisible external energies entering our environment. This brings us to sector analysis, mapping and managing external energies entering a site. Picture a high-altitude, drone-eye view of a property. Now imagine digital overlays popping up on that map. One overlay shows exactly where the sun hits at different times of day. Another maps out the prevailing winds. Another shows exactly where neighborhood noise travels. By visualizing these invisible sectors, a 2026 design can respond to them with incredible precision. Once you've mapped those energies out, you can start harvesting and blocking. Graham actively places his desk to harness the good inputs, like that beautiful morning sunlight that really fuels his creativity. And simultaneously, he positions himself to block the cold winds of digital distraction and outside noise. Every single part serves the whole. Section 4, Zone 0, Digital Flow. We're zooming in from the macro landscape out in the garden right down to the micro level of our daily digital lives. Let's build a bridge between these spaces. Think of Zone 1 as your physical landscape, but Zone 0, that's your digital workflow. Dragging a heavily used folder out of deep storage buried in your hard drive and dropping it as a sidebar shortcut on your desktop is the exact digital equivalent of moving a heavy compost bin closer to your kitchen door. It's the exact same principle of proximity, just applied to pixels instead of plants. And why do we actually care about saving those tiny microsteps? Well, Wolf Richards nails it here. A good design saves you 1,000 steps a year. Because the ultimate yield of relative location isn't just having a tidy desktop or a pretty garden. The ultimate yield is time. When you stop fighting the layout of your own life, you suddenly find hours you didn't even know you had for your health, your community, and your rest. Section 5. The 3-2-1 action plan. Let's look at a quick countdown-style framework to put relative location into practice right now. Number 3, the ethical filters. This is your quick placement check to make sure your setup actually honors these 3 core concepts. Earth care. Does the placement reduce the energy needed to maintain the system? People care. Have you placed your rest elements somewhere you'll actually use them? And fair shares? Are your surplus elements easily accessible to your neighbors? Number 2, the principal applications. I'm challenging you right now to fix 2 relationships. First, in Zone 0, your digital world, find a long-distance click. A file you use daily that takes way too much digging to open, and move it straight to your desktop. Second, in Zone 1, your physical landscape, find a friction point, like a water tap that's just entirely too far from your thirsty plants, and either move the hose or move the plant. Fix the relationship. And finally, number 1, the immediate yield. Identify just one thing you do every single day that feels like a massive hassle purely because of where it's located. Then, physically move it closer to where you actually use it. That immediate saved energy you feel, that is your yield. Reclaim it today. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Are you ready to find the right place? Because abundance truly is a map. We don't have to wander through a cluttered, inefficient life anymore. We can be designers, ensuring our energy flows effortlessly. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and have fun reclaiming your time and energy.